A very good morning to you. How are you doing? It's another Tuesday morning, and if it's Tuesday, we talk about issues to do with parenting. Parenting Tuesday on Jam 316, both on Family TV and Family Radio 316. Have you ever gotten lost in your life? That's a question I was asking earlier on the radio show, and somebody shared an experience where they had gone to the showground with their parents. You remember back in the day, the showground was a big thing. When we were kids in school, man, going to the showground was exciting. The ice cream, the paper capes, and all those lovely things. And she shared an experience of how she got lost in the midst of the crowd, and it took her family 3 hours to be able to locate her and to find her. One of the most fearful experiences for a parent is when their child gets lost. You have no idea where your child is. You have no idea where to begin. Who do you talk to? I mean, what do you do when you have a child who is lost? More and more today, we are seeing cases of lost children. I think it's because we have more avenues to get out the information. Back in the day, you had to go to the TV station or the radio station or sometimes even the newspapers. But today, because we have social media, it is so easy to spread the word across. And sometimes I see the word spread so fast, the missing child is found. But then again, what do you do in a situation where your child gets lost? What is happening on the ground? How do people support you? Those are some of the things we want to talk about today on Parenting Tuesday as we talk about lost children. Well, inviting you to be a part of this forum, a part of this discussion. If you've ever gone through an experience like that, please share with us and let us know what happened and how you were able to handle it, because we learn from one another. This week and today we are focusing on missing children. I'm so glad to be joined in studio via Zoom by Jennifer Kaberi. She is a board member at Missing Child Kenya. Jennifer, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Pastor?
I'm very fine. Asante Sana, thank you for agreeing to be with us this morning. Tell us a bit about Missing Child Kenya. What are you guys all about?
So, Missing Child Kenya is a non-profit organization in Kenya that works to reunite children to their families.
Okay.
So our work is to be able to boost such efforts for missing children by sharing photos, posters, alerts to as broad an audience and in the fastest time possible. And for us, we currently are using social media. We are very, very active on Twitter and on Facebook and on Instagram. So we try to, as soon as we get a report, and we work with law enforcement office officials like the police, DCI, to ensure that children are reunited to their families in the fastest time possible.
How long has the Missing Child Kenya been around?
So we've been existing since 2016. We're kind of young. Since 2016, it was one of our friends' child got missing, and all of us were panicky, and we found what can we do about it? And we decided to just use social media, and that's how Missing Child Kenya was born out of one of our friends having lost a child, and we working together to try to find this child. And finding that child about 8 hours later, and that was how Missing Child was born in July 2016.
Okay, I'm just wondering, is there, apart from Missing Child Kenya, is there any other organization in the country that does something similar to what you guys are doing?
So there's the Department of Children's Services, which is a government agency that is responsible for children. If a child goes missing, people go report to the Department of Children's Services, who we work very closely with. Okay. And also there's the police, the Kenya Police. Also, they do the same thing. Also, that works to reunite children. But it's a government agency. But over the last few years, we've been working very closely collaboration with both Department of Children's Services and the Kenya Police Services, to be able to reunite children. So currently, we don't have any idea of non-government organization that is doing the work we do. Probably they are there, but we have no idea. But currently, I think we are the only organization in Kenya, and right now, I think in Eastern Africa, that is doing missing child reunification.
Okay. Would you be having statistics of about how many children get lost annually in the country?
So according to our data, right now we have our data has of we have over about 110 children missing.
Okay.
So these ones are missing. So from about that number we get since 2016, our database has 100 and about 600 children. So if you do an average, it's about 100 children every year. So as most of them have been reunified. About 392 of them have been reunified to their families, which is a good thing. Thank God for that. But we still have about 110 missing, and about another 52 who are not reunified by their families, but they are living in government homes and safe care, like in children homes that are run by government, and other institutions that are run by government, because they're still missing. And
Okay, I'm just wondering, is this prevalent more in the urban centers than in the rural areas, or it really doesn't matter? Is it across the board?
Unfortunately, because we don't have data from the rural countries, or in the rural areas, or in every counties, we have numbers from Nairobi, most urban centers. So you find most of our numbers are from Nairobi, Kisumu, Nakuru, Mombasa. So because they are urban and they have access to social media, so those are the numbers that we have, and basically are from urban centers. But we do have numbers and we have seen increasingly children from rural areas being reported missing. They are there, but we don't have those numbers yet, but they are there. But the numbers we have mostly are from urban centers.
Okay.
Yes.
And do you have seasons where cases are higher than others? Maybe I'm thinking when schools are out or when schools are in session. Is there a difference? Is there a peak season for children to get lost, or there's nothing like that?
There's a huge difference between when schools are closed and when schools are opened. And when schools are just about to be opened, you know that there's a difference. Yes. When schools are closed, like closing day and opening day, we see a spike in missing children. I don't know, children don't like going back to school or something.
What?
But we find a lot of children go missing. They leave school, they are closed, they don't get home. Okay, so they are reported missing.
Yes.
Or they leave their home, they are going to school, they don't go to school, they don't get to school. So they are reported. So your parents assume my child has gone to school. The school, they're assuming the child is still at home, they have not reported, and the child has gone missing during that time. Probably a parent will know about 2 weeks later when maybe the school calls and asks, why is your child not in school? And the parents is like, this child left for school about 2 weeks ago. I don't know what happened. And then that's when we find like a lot of children missing. And right now, during COVID-19, we have seen a huge spike. Like there's a week we're getting 3 cases a day, which is like a huge. And this, when I'm talking about cases, these are cases that actually have been confirmed missing, because we get calls between 6 to 10 every day, but out of that you find only 3 are like serious, or 1 is a serious case. But now we are getting like serious cases 3 to 5 during COVID-19, because children have gone to play, they are missing or whatever. So during COVID-19, especially after the curfew, is it the curfew or the restriction was lifted?
Yes.
We saw a spike. The numbers just went whoosh up. So we have seen that increasingly when children are at home, for some reason, it increases number of missing. I think maybe because of toxic stress at home, children cannot cope with the stress at home with their parents. So probably that pushes them to run away. Or they go play and then they get missing, or some of them is trafficking, or they want to peer pressure and stuff. They want to go experiment new things. So they kind of go missing or they run away. So it's during school closing that we find that huge number of missing children.
Okay. Is there a particular age group that would say this from this age to this age is where we have the highest numbers of children who get lost?
So we have seen there are two distinct groups. There's the 0 to 5 year olds, and these ones, it's most of the time it's because of trafficking or they are lost. In terms of they are being trafficked. A child has been stolen. They have been moved from county to county or country because for selling purposes, for trafficking purposes. And then we have these young ones who go play or they get lost in a market because they don't know their parents' names, or they they've just gone with someone and they have gone lost. But we have these other categories between the age of 12 to 17-year-old. These ones go missing because they have run away. So these are the two categories of children we find: the really young ones and the kind of the old ones, the 12 to 17-year-olds who have run away, or they have gone and they have not told their parents where they are, because during school transitions, out of school, that's where they get missing. The young ones and the older ones. Those are the categories of children who go missing a lot.
Okay. So what are some of the main reasons that children go missing?
So I'll just start with the lost ones.
Yeah.
They just, because they are getting lost, just, wamepotea.
They got distracted, they got lost.
Yes. Like the other day on Sunday, I was at one of the malls here in Nairobi, and there's this little girl. She looked like 4 or 5, 3 or 4 years old. She even didn't know how to pronounce her name properly. And when he asked, who did you come with? I came with Auntie. Which Auntie? Auntie Rhoda. So even they don't know their mom's name. So they've just come with someone in the mall, and then for some reason, busyness of stuff, and then they go missing, and they get lost like that. And then we have as the runaways. These are the ones they've gotten enough. They are angry with their parents, and they can't take this anymore, and they just run away from home. Okay, they end up on the streets, or they go to their friends, or they go to their relatives. The nice ones, they go to their relatives. So we have that category. We have the trafficked ones who, and I think about 2 years ago, we had like a small baby who got missing. I think it's in Pumwani, and they found themselves in Kangemi or Kawangware. We have that category of children who have been trafficked, and that's a huge number. We have a huge number of them from Uganda here, and they are missing. Yeah, they're missing from their homes. Their parents don't know where they are, but they are working in Nairobi as trafficked children. And then we have that category. Basically, those are the main categories there. Those ones who are lost because they're just lost because they got distracted. There's those ones who have ran away, and then there are those because of the situation at home, or either for some reasons or whatever, they are fearing home. So there are those ones, and then we have the ones who have been trafficked. So those are the main categories of children who go missing.
Have you ever handled any issue where a child was kidnapped?
Yes, that's a kidnapping is under trafficking. So yeah, we've had. Yeah, and so yeah, the other category is where there is a family dispute. I forgot to say that, where a parent they have broken up, parents have broken up, and one parent takes away the children. So that's because and then they get reported as missing because the parents want us to look for them, but they know the children now with the other parent. The other parent has taken them. So we have that kind of category. So we've had kidnapping, and that's kidnapping is categorized as trafficking. So most of these cases will go under trafficking because those children, we don't know where they are, and someone has kidnapped them. Either that's trafficking and for the purpose of money or exploitation. So whatever, if for trafficking is when a child is missing as a result of being for exploitation or for someone else to make money from them. So because of that, we categorize them as trafficked children.
Okay. What I'm just wondering, have you ever also experienced cases where because of extreme poverty, the child runs away because they're trying to find a better way of living than what they're experiencing at home. At home, there's no food. Shelter is also an issue. Do you also experience cases like those?
Yes, we have, especially children who come to Nairobi from rural areas.
Yes.
Because we have children from who come to Nairobi and then they find themselves in institutions. So one of the collaboration we have is with judiciary and ODPP. So when children so they have what they call the open day, and they bring children who have been arrested by the police to come, they call swaps. They come, maybe the police have done a swap in Nairobi, and they've collected all street children.
Yeah.
So they're taken to Milimani Children's Court. So instead of arresting those children being treated as criminals, they're treated as children in need of care and protection. And a category of those children in need of care and protection are missing children. So what we do, we have a collaboration with Office of the Director of Prosecution. So what public prosecution? What we do, we go there and we take photos of those children and we put them in our dashboard for missing children.
Yeah.
And we find most of those children, they've run away from rural areas, coming to Nairobi, thinking Nairobi has a better life.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we are going to, because they hear Nairobi, you don't go hungry. Nairobi, this, and they find themselves on the street because they ran away from their rural homes. They're coming to get a better life in Nairobi. We have those of them, and there are those ones who are basically from Nairobi, and they, of course, they find themselves on the streets. We have a good number of those, but unfortunately, those ones are in children institutions, because we come across them when we have been invited by government agencies to collect a database of them and to be able to create alerts for them.
Okay. Shortly, we'll talk about now if my child goes missing, what do I need to do? And at what point do I begin to consider that they're missing and it's a serious thing? We'll talk about that shortly. We're hanging out with Jennifer Kaberi, board member, Missing Child Kenya. We are talking about lost children today. If you have any questions for us, 20316 is the SMS line. WhatsApp number is 0786316316. Also, maybe Missing Child Kenya came through for you and they helped you find a missing child. You can also share that experience with us. We would love to know. So, Jennifer, I have a question here. This one says, what's the reinstatement procedure for kids who have run away from toxic parents? I once did and came back home, but my parents was all manner of talk. Do you intervene and help in the reconciliation?
So as Missing Child Kenya, what we do, we provide counseling, okay? We provide, in collaboration with the Department of Children's Services, we provide counseling for children so that they can be able to be able to know what is the issue, why did the child run away from home. So we provide counseling services so that the parents and the children can be able to live in a cordial relationship as it's intended to be. So, but we understand some families are very toxic, and in case of toxicity in the family, what we recommend to children is, instead of you running away, why don't you go to Department of Children's Services and report the case, you know? Because by running away, going to the streets or wherever, you're putting yourself in danger. So what we recommend, go to Department of Children's Services. The department will help you to get away. Either counseling, providing psychosocial support to your family, or finding someone else, maybe a close family or relative who you can live with.
Yes.
If you feel staying with your family or your parent is unbearable. So there is always an alternative, instead of running away and staying on the street and putting yourself in more danger.
Okay. So as a parent, at what point do I consider my child is missing and it's serious, and what do I do?
So for us at a missing child, we recommend, if you see your child, you've called everywhere the first 3 hours and you can't find your child, do not delay. Report to the police. It's better to be safe than sorry, because some people say, no, I have to wait for 6 hours or 24 hours. No. The first 3 hours are the most important hours when a child goes missing, because it is a matter of life and death, like literally a matter of life and death. If a child is being harmed or whatever, within the first 3 hours, you can be able to save their lives. But maybe after 6 hours, you'll not be able to save their lives. So for us, we recommend, if your child, I always say, as a parent, God has given you that feeling that there's something that is not right here. So if you feel that something, just go report to the police. Yes, let your child be found maybe after you have reported, but don't wait until something happens for you to report. So the first 3 hours are the most important. So you always report within the first 3 hours. Okay. After that, when you get an OB, that's it's called occurrence. You have been reporting the occurrence book. You come to us as Missing Child Kenya with that number, because for safeguarding purposes, we work collaboratively with police. So we have to have that OB number for us to be able to for our records and to be able to follow up with the police to find out if this child has been found. And right now, at least the government has made it easy. It's all digital. So you don't have to, you can have your number digital on your phone or whatever. And then you send us for us through the OB number. And then with a photo, the recent photo of your child, characteristics of your child, dark, tall, big, what are they wearing? Do they have a disability? Do Do they have a special mark in their home, in their body? So just for us to be able, was there feud between you and your family, on your family members, as I mentioned before? Just to give us more understanding. And then we will open a case file for your child. And then with the case file, we can be able to develop posters. And then before we post a poster, we always refer it to the parent. And we say, is this poster okay? Is it reflecting what you needs to be communicated?
Yeah.
So after that, we will share with our network. So most of the times when we share a poster, we get, within the first minute, we get like on Twitter, we get like 500 retweets within the first minute. And within a day, we'll get, there's some we have get even 100,000 retweets within just one poster.
Yeah.
So we get, and with that, and we work at the same time, we refer that case to the Department of Children's Services. So they become also a case by Department of Children's Services. As we are developing the poster, the Department of Children is also creating a file for themselves to be able to put in their books that this child is been reported missing. Just in case that child finds themselves they're in Nairobi and they find themselves in Busia on their way to Uganda, the government already knows this child has been missing. They have this characteristic, and we need to do something about that. So after you have reported that, we will start sharing. But when we find your child, or you find your child, because sometimes we are called to say, we have seen this child, this and this place. We will report to the police, Department of Children's Services, and let you know that your child has been found. But most of the time, you find the child is found by the parent, because you always share two numbers. You share the missing child number, actually three: the missing child number, the parent's number, and the number for police or Department of Children's Services. And most of the time, when the child is found, it is the parent who is called. So when your child is found, we always request that you call us and tell us your child has been found, so that you can remove them from circulation. Social media has a way of making the poster become more famous. So when your child is found, we are very deliberate of pulling the posters down. So we pull the posters down and replace them with child found. And when the child has been found, and then we circulate, say this child has been found, and that's why we circulate that. Sorry, I have my small producer in the office. So
I have seen the hand of the producer. That's okay. That's fine.
So okay. Let me just parent a minute.
Your producer wants to be famous.
Yeah.
And do what?
And work. Okay, just give me a second.
What?
I'm sorry about that.
It is okay. It is. We are talking about children, so that is a good example. But I'm smiling because men and women would handle that situation very differently. If it was a man, they would probably have tried to push the child away. You're distracting me, but it's okay. Let's keep going. on the social media. And by the way, your audio is still off, eh? Your audio is still off. Okay. It is called Parenting Tuesday, and we parent even when we are working, which is a good thing. By the way, reminding you, if you have questions regarding what we are talking about today, we are talking about lost children. 20316 is the SMS line. The WhatsApp number is 0786 316 316. If you've gone through an experience where your child went missing, please share that with us as well. Or maybe your child is missing currently. You can still share that with us, because we are talking to Missing Child Kenya, and this is what they do. They help parents locate and connect with children who are missing. And now back to you. I wanted to ask, because there was this issue, I think about a month ago or almost 2 months ago, where a child was missing, and I saw you guys had done a poster, if I remember well, and then some people are saying the child is missing. Some people are saying, no, the child has been found. In fact, I saw like 3 or 4 posts saying, no, the child has been found. And then I saw another one that says, all these are lies. The child is still missing. If you see them, get in touch with this number. So how do you control all that? Because social media can be one big mess.
And that's why, for example, I think from initially I mentioned that what we do as an organization, we work with the police. So the parent directly. So what we do, so when we have a case, we do not rely on third parties. We work with parents, and and we work with the police. So when you tell us that a child is being found, we actually confirm with the parent, is this true? Or please let us know. So we are in constant communication with that parent until that child is found. Okay. And also with the constant communication with the police until that child is found. So we do not rely on social media per se. As much as we use social media to circulate our information, we go to the first hand. So for example, we get a lot of posters, this child is missing, but we always ask, please give us the parent's number, because we do not want to rely on what you are telling us. Give us the parent's number, let us communicate to the parents, and let's confirm if this information is legit. And for example, for that particular case, I think you saw that pastor from I think Rongai.
Yes,
so one of the things that it was that one. So we knew that child was in danger. So, and of course, the people who had kidnapped her or who had put her in danger, of course, they were giving false information on social media. They know. So because they want to be found, they want to deflate the community from that child being found. Of course, they will share also false information. But for us, we decided from the word go, we work with the parent directly and the police. So if a child is in danger, we put that child we put that child in communication. We make sure that we're in communication to ensure that this information is real.
Okay. Lynette from Nairobi is saying she loves the small producer, and she says thank you for the topic this morning. Inviting your questions, 20316 SMS line, WhatsApp number 0786 316 316. We are talking to Missing Child Kenya. We are focusing on lost children. If you have had an experience where your child got lost, please share that with us. Or even maybe currently your child is missing, share that with us today. Parenting Tuesday on Jan 316, we are talking about lost children. We are hosting Jennifer Kaberi from Missing Child Kenya. Timo Wauba. Timo, how are you doing today? You say hi to our two lovely guests. Our two lovely guests, thank you for the topic. You say you're on your way to Nyeri. Thank you so much, Timothy, for always being a part of this program. We appreciate your company. I'm just wondering, Jennifer, when it comes to the whole issue of the posters and everything, have you ever had cases where parents are fighting and the child is in between? Because I'm thinking one parent can be malicious to report the child missing, yet they are with the other parent. Have you ever had cases like that, and how do you deal with that?
We get that all the time.
Oh.
We get that all the time. And so those cases, most of the time, we do not publish them. Most of the time, we don't publish them. We just refer them to Department of Children Services, because you don't want your platform to be known as the platform that is the one that causes families to fight. So most of the time we do not, unless that child is in danger, where we have evidence that the person or the parent who has taken the child is going to put the children in danger. That's when we do publish them. But most of the time we don't publish such cases. We just let Department of Children Services come in between and deal with that particular issue. So we do get, and we actually, because that's one of the reasons, like when you report a case to us, we'll ask you so many questions.
Okay.
Like when the child goes missing, who do you think how that story of a child, we are referring this case to Department of Children's Services because it's beyond our control. Okay?
Yeah.
So because it's beyond our control, we most of the time we report that case to Department of Children's Services.
Okay. Well, in cases where you know that the life of the child is actually in danger, how differently do you handle it from other cases?
That's when we work with like a 360 kind of support. We are working with DCI. We have a platform where we have DCI, Director of Criminal Investigation, the Child Protection Unit. We have Department of Children's Services. We have so we work as a unit to ensure that and to be able to trace this child. So especially when we have had cases where we know the children are in danger. I think that those ones, unfortunately, they were found deceased. The three siblings, twice, three siblings in two different cases were found deceased, and but that we were already been told these children are in danger. So in that case, we involve the police a lot and DCI. So we actually let the police and DCI lead, and we post regularly, like you post after every 2 or 1 hour saying these children are missing. You find them, kindly to kindly report to the nearest police station as soon as possible. These children are in danger. So we make sure that we report regularly. We report to ensure that these children are not in danger.
Okay. You said earlier that you provide counseling services for the parents and the children. I'm just wondering, for that parent, when they're still going through this ordeal, the child has not been found yet, probably their state of mind is all over the place. Do you offer counseling services for them at that time? And for family members, how do we come in to support this kind of a situation?
So as Missing Child Kenya, we have a support group. It's a Facebook group where we have a support group for families who have a missing child, where they can speak to each other, and we have a counselor in there who provides the psychosocial support on Facebook. But we also, like, if you're in need of call, just call a toll-free number. Say, today it's been a really hard day. My child is missing. I can't concentrate. I need support. So if you call a toll-free number, we are going to refer you to professional services.
Yes.
Probably not us, but we are going to refer you to people who are going to give you that counseling. So if as family, you can support basic. Losing a child is difficult, dead or missing. And missing is horrible, because when a child is dead, there's closure. You've seen them, their bodies, they are gone. But when a child is missing, you don't know where they are. You don't know if they are alive. You don't know if they are dead. You don't know where they are, if they are being harmed. Are they eating? Are they warm? I'm just saying, as a mom, you have all these things going through your mind. As the kind of support you can give them as relatives is just reassure them, help them to circulate the posters. Call on them just to ensure that their mental state is fine. Be there to visit them, provide that food when they're not able to cook for themselves. Try to get professionals' help, like counseling for them. Just being there and listening to them, that is the most important thing. Try as much as possible to circulate the information about the child who is missing, so that the child can be found. Connecting, be the contact person. Sometimes when a child is missing, talking to the parents sometimes is very because they are all panicky. Be the person who is in contact with the police or the Department of Children's Services or the Missing Child Kenya, to be able to be in between. So when the police calls or the missing child calls for more information, you're the person who is picking up, not the parent who is really panicking. Because when you see that number for missing child and you go like, oh, have they found them dead, or they're being found? So it is easier to have someone who is more calm to be able to respond to some of the questions.
Okay. Have you ever had cases where a child went missing and they were found outside the country? And if yes, how do you deal with that?
So that's a classic case of trafficking. Okay. We have not found in Kenya. We've not found, but we find children from outside the country coming here. Like, for example, we had a case from Uganda, and someone posted us, because we have links in Uganda and Tanzania.
Yes.
So someone from Uganda sent us we saw a poster circulating. Actually, we have found one. There's a Kenyan case actually. A child who was coming from Busia. I was in Busia, and so what? Of course, I salute our border control, because they really do go when there's a child in a vehicle or whatever, they go into to find out what kind of child is this, where are they doing there, are there papers? So this particular child didn't have any papers, and they were on their way to Uganda, and so we got, and so I'm talking about the Kenyan case, and so it was a small baby, and that child had been missing from here in Nairobi, and they found themselves in Busia. Is it Busia? It was either Busia or Tororo. It's a Ugandan border, one of them. So that child found themselves in Uganda, and they were taking a photo, and we were able to find that child and their parents, and they were reunited. And that child was less than less than a month old. And thank God, and thanks to DCI, we were able to reunite that child to the parent. But that's a classic case where we find our child. So many of them here. There's so many of them from Uganda. But we have had a case where we have handled a child was being transported from Kampala coming to Nairobi, and we took a photo, and that child was reunited with their parents in Kampala from Busia. So they didn't find themselves in Nairobi, but they found themselves using our contacts in Uganda. We were able to circulate the posters in Uganda, and that child was able to reunite it. in Uganda. Yeah.
Okay. Talking about small children, we've had cases in the country where children are stolen at the maternity hospital and issues like that, or children are exchanged at the maternity hospital. So do you also handle cases where children go missing at the maternity hospital?
Yeah, like that case, the case I'm talking about of like
Yeah.
a small baby was less than a month. I think was 2 weeks old. And they found themselves in a border going to Uganda. We have those cases, and the parents, and we have had one. There's one that we actually found. There was a child, I think, was stolen from Kenyatta National Hospital. They found themselves, like a small baby was found in Kawangware. So the parents, they actually reported to us, but the only challenge, with the small babies, they don't have features yet. So, all small babies look alike.
Yeah.
So the only description you can say this child is less than 2 weeks old. So that's the only thing. So that's a challenge. But we have found, and thankfully we've been able to reunite about 5 of them, the newborns. We have been able to reunite about 5 of them back to their parents. But we find, but those are classic cases of trafficking. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens when the time factor, time is going, this child has not been found, it's a week, it's 2 weeks, it's a month. What happens after that? Do you continue searching, or do you get to a point where now you have to forgo the search and focus on something else? I don't know.
No, we do not stop searching.
Yeah.
We do not stop searching until every child has been reunited to their family. So we do not stop searching. So if a child goes missing, like we have a case for 2013 before we existed.
Wow.
And we are still looking for those children. We have children we have cold cases for 5 years. So this a boy. This is those times when you pray and you pray, God, let this child be found. There's a boy who went missing, I think just when we started in 2016 December. He was autistic, and he's never been found. But our mission is to ensure that every child has been reunited to them. So we do not stop searching. And some of them we find, like there's a case we found, the child was found 2 years later.
Wow.
After they went missing. Yes. There's that. You find we have been existing for less than 5 years, but we found like 2 years later, there's one that we actually, there's a case where the child had been missing for 3 years, and we were given the poster, and we circulated, and the child had been in the hospital in Kisumu, Olympic. It's called Olympic, or the hospital in Kisumu. I've forgotten the name. The referral hospital in Kisumu. And that child had been in that ward because they are autistic. They cannot maybe talk. They've been not hospital for 2 years, so they had grown, and the family is looking for them. And this hospital, they don't know what's the name of this child. They gave him a name. So when one of the nurses came across one of our, we do like a boost, like we repost all the missing children.
Yes.
At least once a month. We repost. So in one of our reposting, we found this nurse comes, this child, this picture looks very familiar. And then they went to compare, and then they called the family and said, we have this child. They have almost the same description as the one that you have seen on the missing child Kenya post. And when they found that this is their child, but the child had grown.
Yes.
They had changed his name and everything because in 2 years in a hospital because they are autistic. This child was answering to a different, but it was their child.
Yeah.
That was one, those ones where in the office you close the office and go sleep because you say, today the day has been made.
Yeah.
So we don't give up. We don't stop searching until every child has been found. Yeah.
Okay. Now, to ask the community, because you say you use social media a lot, what would you tell us? What do we do when we come across your posters or when we hear somebody's child is missing? How can the society, the community, the social media family help?
So don't ever pass a missing child poster because that child can be yours. We've had people say, I used to see these posters and I just think these guys are just farming my timeline until my own child got missing.
Yeah.
And I saw the importance of those posters. So don't pass them by. Just retweet, repost, reshare, whatever. Just screenshot them and post them on your Facebook or WhatsApp groups, because you don't know, that can be next time can be your own child.
Yes.
As a community, always be on the lookout. If you see a child is overcrying, is not comfortable around this person, this child does not look, just this relation between this adult and this child does not look right.
Yeah.
Please report to the nearest police station. Call 116. That case, if it's at any form of abuse, it will be flagged off. And if it's missing child, those cases will be referred to us, and we'll be able to report them as missing.
Okay.
If you see something is not, that relation is just not right, just report to 116 and you'll be saving. And we've found so many cases like that where our parents are not just saying, this is not right. And you find that child has been missing and the someone has been looking for them. So if you find a child is missing, the number is very, very easy, 0882233344. So that is the toll-free number. You call, it's free. No, it's not going to be charged anywhere in the country, any line, whichever line you use, it's free. Call and you're going to get help at this other side. We are going to ensure that child, if you have a child missing or if you know a child who is missing, or you come across a child who is missing, please just call that number 116 or 0882233344, and we are going to give you help here.
I love what you're saying, because the tendency would be, if I come across a child who's missing, they are lost and they don't know where they are, the tendency as a parent would be to take them to my house and just to ensure that they have a place to sleep, they have a meal, as I try and figure out whose child is this. So would that be the right thing to do? Would it be the right thing to do to get to the police and take the child to the police, call you guys? What's the best practice there?
So the best practice is go to the police. The first stop is go to the police and report. Make sure you have an OB number. Because the challenge of taking them to your home is, if the parents of that child come and they look for you, and then the child is found in your house and you had not reported, guess what? You'll be the one who be told you
took my child.
And you'll be, you go to court and you'll be accused of trafficking and you are trying to help. So the best thing is go to the police, report to the police. After you have reported to the police, report to the missing child Kenya, say, I have this child, I think this child is missing or is lost. Can you help me? And we'll ask you a few questions. Does the child know their name? And then we are going to have that in our record. So you have something to back yourself.
Okay.
And then make sure that you go to the Department of Children's Services and report to the Department of Children's Services and tell DCS, I have this case of children and I have this child. How can you help me? And the case will be recorded in the DCS database. So you have a backing, even if the police, because most of the time.
We've lost you there. We have lost you a bit.
In fact, you have an OB number. You have.
We had lost you a bit.
What in this case, you have a backing that I did that. Okay, so where did you lose me?
I think the network. So just backtrack a bit. The network was
From
hanging
where?
a bit.
Oh, okay. I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm saying so if a child is missing and you have a child in your hand, so the best thing you can do is to be able to go to the police, report to the police, and make sure you have an OB number. Even if you want to stay with that child at home, report to the police. Let the police give you the permission to go and stay that child at home. Because if that child is found in your house and you had not reported, you'll be in so much trouble in terms of, why did you go with a child that is not yours? Were you planning to traffic that child? Okay, why didn't you report to the police? So the first thing is to report to the police, have an OB number. And then when you have an OB number, call the missing child number. It's free, okay? Or 116, it's free, okay? And then when you have already reported to missing child Kenya or 116, also go to Department of Children's Services. Let the Department of Children's Services have that record that you have a missing child in your home. Okay, and let them give you permission. They give you there's a document they will give you, or if they don't agree with you, they'll take that child to a safe house. Okay. If they don't feel you're competent enough to take care of that missing child, they will put them themselves. They'll take that action. They'll take that child because it is their mandate as Department of Children's Services to take care of children who are missing. They'll take them to a safe home. So you don't have to stay with the child. Okay. So that way you are safe. So don't say, Mimi, I'm a good Samaritan. I can keep care of this child. Don't do that because it will be, people have been in jail because of cases like that. Just report to the police, the missing child, 116, and Department of Children's Services.
Okay. I can see we've run out of time. Jennifer, what would be your parting shot as we finish?
It takes a village in the literal sense. So if a child is missing, remember that child can be yours. Yeah. And it's your responsibility as a community, either online or offline, to make sure that child is being related with their family. God has given you as a parent or as a human being a sixth sense to feel something is not right. When you feel that nudge in your heart, please call for help. And there are so many platforms that you can get help and ensure that those children are being protected. Thank you so much. And for all those ones who you can go to our website to get more information about missing children and how to report and how to support the work that we do. Thank you very much. missingchildren.co.ke is our website.
Great. Jennifer, thank you very much for that very important information. May the Lord bless you. At least I've learned one thing today. When you see a post of a missing child on social media, don't just pass it by. Don't ignore it. Spread it to all your contacts, because you never know. When you get to a position when it's your child missing, you'll appreciate when other people do the same for you. That's all the time we have for Parenting Tuesday today. I hope you've learned something to help you, and we'll see what God has in store for us next week.
For this and more of our shows, log on to www.familymediaonline.com to enjoy a wide variety of programs, from current affairs to testimonials and features, pastoral and inspirational shows, kids entertainment, and so much more. Also stream live on www.familymedia.tv.